today is for you. I'm very excited about this video. Even if no one else is, I'm very excited because I'm making a crochet vest that's inspired by 60s, the 70s, that kind of vibe. So lots of warm colours, oranges, yellows, greens, brown. I couldn't decide between a more sort of striped vest or granny square, but I've decided to go for granny square because it's the most, it just feels the most 60s, 70s. I haven't looked up a pattern, but I've sort of just looked up inspiration and I think it looks relatively simple. I sort of roughly designed an idea on my iPad, so I drew out all the squares and then I put them together in the rough colours I'm going to be using as well. So this will probably give a better idea of what I'm going to be doing. So I've got some oranges. In fact, let me get them out. I haven't looked at them properly yet. It's always hard ordering online because sometimes the colours don't come up exactly as they look. We have got 2 browns, this green, a lighter green colour, 2 shades of like this. Now this isn't the nicest shade. This looks a little bit different to what I thought it did online. Yellowy cream colour, 2, which very much matches me right now, orangey colours. Here's all the colours together. I think they're gonna look good. I wanted like it to be colourful, but not too bright and crazy because then I'm just never gonna wear it. So I think these are good. My plan is to basically just start making some squares, some granny squares, and then I just go with the flow. Also, this is quite soft. It is, I've never used this brand before. It's Stylecraft Special. So I'm just gonna start by making some squares and I will update you with the progress. These hooks as well, if anyone's interested, are literally some of my favourite hooks. I can't remember the name. I think it's like pony something, I think. We have a granny square, and also I've decided that this colour is not going to make the cut. So yeah, there's the first one, and I will come back with more, hopefully quite a few more. Oops. Right, I've got my chai latte and now I can continue crocheting. Also, I like it in a flask because it keeps it hot for longer. That's self-explanatory, I don't know why I'm saying that. Okay, it's the next day and I've made the first 8, which is enough to go across the first, like the front panels. And I'm liking the colours. I think they look good. These won't necessarily be the exact ones I use for the front, but yeah, this is the first 8. We are getting there with all the squares, and I've decided for under the armpit bit, I was just going to have like 2 full squares, but then I've decided to add like a little triangle one. So I've made these, which are literally just as easy as the granny square. I just looked up a video on how to make half granny squares, and if you can make a granny square, you can do this. Okay, so I've now finished all the individual squares and I'm gonna try and lay them out into the shape they're gonna be. I've made this big one for the back. This side is the front and then that is the back. And now I'm going to seam together all the pieces, and then afterwards I'm going to go in with a brown rim. Also, so for this big piece, I literally just did the exact same thing. I just made a granny square, but obviously just continued and made it bigger. Obviously for size, I could just do it by eye, but I also counted to make sure there was the same amount of rows as there are 3 of these granny squares, to make sure the sizes match. To remind myself on how to seamlessly join granny squares, I've looked up this video from Mima Makes. So if anyone wants to use that, it's really good, an easy tutorial to follow. The stitch I'm going to do to seam the pieces together is an invisible stitch, so you shouldn't see the yarn through, but I've chosen to do the brown because this is the colour I'm going to do the border in, so then it just makes more sense and I can weave in the ends into the border. stitch I'm doing is honestly really easy to do. It's called the mattress stitch, I think. You go into the back loop where the last bit of yarn is already coming out. So you just go in and then back up through the next back loop and then pull through. So again, you go in through that last back loop where the yarn's coming out and then back under the next back loop. And once you've done a couple of them, you just pull look at that, you literally can't see the brown. And yeah, so I'm just going to do that to all of the pieces until they're all stuck there. But I would recommend watching that YouTube video I showed just for more detail and how to like start on the corners and stuff. So I got a bit eager and I've tried it on. There's no ends sewn in, but look at it, it's actually come out better than I thought. I ended up going all the way around with the rim, doing 2 rounds of half double crochet because I did 1 and it just felt a bit thin, and I think 2 is perfect. I definitely didn't need quite so big armpit holes. I think I could have just gotten away with not doing the half ones and just had a full one and there would have been space, but oh well. And it is quite roomy because I'm not really planning on doing it up. I think it's just nice sitting like this. I probably also could have gotten away with not doing this whole row. I think if I like folded that away, it would have still fit with just 1 down the side. If anyone's wanting to make it, I guess take that into account. If you've got larger boobies or just large in general, then I think definitely you'd want the 2 under here. But if you're quite petite, then you could probably just do like 1 square here, if that makes sense, instead of the double layer. But she's cute, all his back. So I'm happy with it. I might potentially try blocking it. I've never really done that before, but I know if you do that, it kind of holds its shape a bit better because it's a little bit, this kind of folds up a bit. And so imagine it nicely done with the ends seamed in, and she's cute. I tried styling her with some booties. There we go. Honestly, it kind of took me long. Like I did this across the span of quite a few weeks, but that's mainly just because I wasn't doing it like all day every day. It honestly, I really would say it's beginner friendly. It's basically just granny squares and then half double crochets, or you could do single crochets or double crochets, like whatever stitch, just to go around the edges. Like it really wasn't difficult. Besides all these, which isn't going to be fun, it was enjoyable to make. Yeah, there we go. I hope this video was hopefully enjoyable. I feel like I filmed really random clips, like it wasn't a tutorial, but I kind of showed the process, so hopefully it was alright. And I will hopefully be back soon for my 4th. Wait, this will be my 3rd ever video, so hopefully I will be back soon for my 4th. Mwah.